Welcome back to K on the Bay. My guests this morning are Karen Werstein and Paula Boone, and we are talking about a very exciting event going on tonight in downtown Huntsville, Club 55. I think we all know Club 55, Muskoka Novel Marathon. And my impression is it is so incredibly well organized. You are Karen just said that we're both DTO people.
That's right.
And I think Paula was talking about a den mother and just... It's also maybe one of your sponsors should be Muskoka Tourism, because there's going to be people coming from different areas and they'll be very suitably impressed of their experience. I mean, yes, it's the writing experience, etc., but it's the experience of being in Huntsville. We're looking quite magnificent right now.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight's going to be wild and crazy. Mm-hmm. So, Karen, let's start off with, so what happens tonight? You're going to be crazy busy today. So they arrive and you welcome them.
Yeah, from between 5:30 and 6:30. It's registration and setup, so they'll sign in and they'll choose their spot and they'll set up their laptops and their stuff.
So is it worthwhile coming early to get a certain spot, or?
It depends on what you want.
Okay,
I mean, this is a new venue, so I don't know what it's going to look like. So I don't think I'm much going to care where I am in the room. But where I am personally am going to be, along with Shirley Meyer, is outside. Because we realized after we set the date that it's the same date as Midnight Madness that happens tonight in Huntsville. And I realized that Main Street was going to be closed up. And so, I mean, originally I was thinking we need an outside presence. We need to have a table set up. And, it's all wireless and so on. So we're hooked up to the internet and so on. And then I thought, if it's Midnight Madness, we could be right out in the middle of the street. So that's what we're going to do.
What are you going to do in the middle of the street? This is going to be hilarious.
We're going to sit there and write.
You're going to literally bring out oh my goodness.
But they're also going to have a donation jar, and if people have questions and want to talk to them about what they're doing.
We won't be totally antisocial. We'll certainly take money. And what Shirley and I are going to do is live writing. In other words, we'll have our readers in a Google Docs document with us, right? So they'll be able to watch us go as we go.
Did you want to give the address for that so that people can check it out?
Well, no, because to get on, you have to do a $10 donation. So I can't just give it to anybody. It's by invitation only.
But how do they find out how to get there?
How do you mean?
Like, if they want to make the $10 donation and read it, what do they do?
I guess they would have to email me, which I can give my email address. It's Hearth, Hearth, like fireplace, Hearth, at, and here's the hard part, because you have to spell it wrong, Explornet. Does not start with an E. It starts with an X. Xplor.
E.
No E.
Oh.
No E.
Sorry.
net.com. I'll say that again. Hearth, Hearth, at xplornet.com.
Okay. All right.
It's a hard email address. Yeah. I apologize.
So you're going to be out in the street at what time?
Well, we'll start writing at 8, like everybody else.
So 8 till...
But we'll be setting up a little bit before that. We'll have to. To mark out our territory.
Mm-hmm. And so then when you come back in, then is there a bell? Ding, ding, ding. We're ready to start? Or how does...
We'll use the horn, I think.
I'll use the horn for that.
The horn, yeah.
And then everybody at their tables and off you go.
So on your mark, get set, go.
So throughout the weekend, there will be people writing. We'll pretty much all of us, I think, take a break on tomorrow night, Saturday night, to go to a bit of a wine and cheese at Soul Sisters, which is a chance for us to sit back and relax a little bit and socialize. And throughout the weekend, we're hoping there will be people sitting out in front of the theater doing some writing and also collecting pledges. We do welcome people to come into the venue and to donate. We would prefer it if people don't sort of circulate in between the writers and disturb anyone who's actually in the middle of writing.
Yes.
But there will certainly always be someone who's not in the middle of writing who's happy to say hello and answer questions and things like that.
So you're going to have a networking party. People can relax, give them a break, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Now, I'm noticing you're both wearing beautiful T-shirts. Paula is in black and Karen is in lovely royal purple.
It's a fine purple. It
it's
just jumps out at you, doesn't
purple
it?
is, well,
You
I
can't
always
see
think
it
of
on the radio. You just have to imagine.
So it has a Muskoka
violet.
chair with a, looks like a little book in the top.
Yeah.
That's right. That's designed by Elke Schultz. some years
Okay,
ago.
and Muskoka Novel Marathon 2011, but the back of it is a winner. What does it say?
Now, this we have to give credit. We took this from Martin Avery's shirts that he made from a novel marathon that he started to run in Pickering when he moved there.
Okay. Shh.
But it
Sure
it
idea.
says Veni Vidi Scripsi, which is Latin for I came, I saw, I wrote. Which we just thought was wonderful, and we wanted it on our shirts too.
So that would be one of the gifts that the writers would get?
Oh, no, they had to buy them, actually.
Oh, do they?
Well,
oh,
but
my
it's-
goodness.
part of
They're
the
really inexpensive.
But
I
it's
think you're
also-
going to get that $10,000.
It's part of the exactly.
you will.
It's part of the fundraising.
We'll let you know.
We got a great discount from Portage Promotionals, and so part of the proceeds from every shirt goes toward adult literacy programs in Muskoka. So.
And the Literacy Council will be very, very proud.
Yeah, and we should probably mention just briefly that right now, like checks that are being written are made out to the Muskoka Literacy Council, but there are some changes underway there. And so basically what's happening is all the same programs are being offered and they're being taught by the same people. The difference is that within the next little while, they're going to be shifting over so that all of them eventually are administered by YMCA of Muskoka. So which means right now, I think about half of them have changed to a different umbrella. So while the checks say Muskoka Literacy Council, some of that funding will go to the YMCA, and probably by next year,
I'd say by next
it
year,
will all
you're
be
writing a
going
check
to
to
the
different-
YMCA.
Well, it's
Just to
it's
make
an
it clear.
evolution, which
Yeah.
I know I'm personally
Yeah.
aware about. But there is such a need here for it.
There is.
Just the fact that, people stop school at a certain age, they need to go back, technology, and just being able to fill out a resume. I mean, so many things. I mean, you don't really think about it till somebody starts to point out some of the issues that we have.
They teach literacy, so reading and writing. They teach math, basic math, and they teach computer skills. And between those three things, you can take control of your life in a way that you couldn't before if you
Yes.
didn't have them. I actually wrote a piece. The first novel marathon I did, I wrote a piece. It was actually inspired by a bookmark that the Literacy Council had put out, and I just kind of added to it with all the aspects of life that, I, as a writer and a literate person, take totally for granted, like filling out forms, doing my income tax, helping my kid with his homework,
Street signs.
reading street signs, going on the internet, all that stuff that I couldn't do if I couldn't read. And writing this piece, it was quite long. It was like 1,500 words or something, and it was actually published in the Forester at the time. I really realized like how closed in it must be to not have words and not have literacy. And that's why it's so important. It's actually a surprisingly high percentage of the population. People hide it. It's a stigma. That's another thing. It's a stigma. People don't, they feel stupid. They don't want to let you know that they can't read, so they find all kinds of tricks. And it is
They must be.
surprising.
They are very smart because if you can get through not reading,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and it really helps. Like when we have the Roy McGregors of the world who are so incredibly supportive, and you find out hockey coaches have, nobody knew for such a long time how they're so smart they can figure it out how to get around and hide the truth.
Yeah, and then the other thing that I think is really extraordinary is it's not only about people who can't read at all, but also about people who can only read to a certain level, which still limits them.
Yes.
And at the Literacy Council and now at the YMCA, they have programs all the way through. Like you can get your high school equivalency and get ready for college. They help people out who are going to be in certain jobs to make sure that they are able to read, to know the different terms and to be able to read what they need to read to get a job. And they just do extraordinary work.
Now, I remember the article that you wrote, and it was absolutely bang on.
Thank you.
Unfortunately,
Well, yeah.
but
It's a
still,
sad
it was
situation.
very emotional in what you were writing about. Because it obviously was, you saw it. I mean, it's clear-eyed and et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, but
I hadn't thought of it before. That's the thing. I hadn't thought of it before. And so this was an exercise in empathy, you know. It's
but
like,
sometimes,
wow,
Karen,
okay.
there's things that we don't till we're in a certain situation, and then we suddenly think, oh, gee, I didn't know that. And I've always said that there shouldn't really be a day that goes by when you say, I didn't know that, because we don't. We're fascinating. The fact that you are both writers have a huge amount in your hands to change things, the way you can word it the correct way. And I really admire you for that if there's issues that you feel very strongly about. Anyway, tonight, 8 o'clock, Karen will be out in the middle of the chaos.
I'll be in Club 55 at the town hall with the quieter writers.
Yes, and Paula will be. They'll all be wearing their great T-shirts, beautifully organised, and I wish you $10,000.
Thank you so much.
Please, everybody, come out and support, because this is incredible, but it's also fun. We could end up with a bestseller. There's so many different things that can happen, and I hope your son has an absolutely the story sounds fantastic.
Oh, on his behalf, thanks.
So I'd like to say, please, all the people that are listening this morning, get ready to pop in tonight, say hello, help out. It's going to be a wild weekend. And I think there'll be some pretty tired but pretty satisfied people on Monday.
You're
8 o'clock
exactly
sharp.
right. You're
That's right.
exactly
But so rewarding. So keep up the great work.
Thank you.
And congratulations on number 11, Muskoka Novel Marathon.
Thank you, Kareen.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyway, this is Kay signing off. Have a fantastic Huntsville week, and we'll see you next week. Kay on the Bay, Hunters Bay Radio.